And here we are in our first quarterfinal playoff game against the UCF Knights. They're looking to prove themselves as the group of five representative. And we're looking to punch our ticket to the next round and face the winner of Texas and Alabama. UCF bolsters a very powerful and balanced offensive attack, with their passing game being slightly better than their running game, or their rushing game being slightly better than their passing game. And we're looking to establish Andrew DeAngelis early. So this game could go quickly as both teams look to rush the ball frequently. But UCF's defense looks like it has some holes that we can exploit, being that their passing attack is one of their weaker sides. But we're excited for this opportunity here in this late venue change. So we're actually here in the Peach Bowl rather than the Fiesta Bowl. The committee deemed that it would be better for these Southeast teams to be represented in a Southeastern Bowl. But here we are in what would be the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but it's the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia, as we're in our first winner-take-all game. We took down South Carolina to punch our ticket in through just a lot of key decisions that helped us really establish the ball early. UCF wins the coin toss and is looking to start out very aggressively, deciding to return the ball off the kick, or off the coin toss. And they kneel it away, and so our game begins. Now, I'm excited for today. I haven't been able to play in a couple of weeks, and so I apologize for my absence if you are watching this somewhat live. But the game plan today is to shut down their running attack and to make them pass the ball on us. We want to make them one-dimensional. And they run the option, able to break a tackle. We got to get Neal into the running game to get the stop. We had him in the backfield, but couldn't come up with the tackle. I believe that was Ellis. Just missed on that play, and we're going to need to come up with those big-time tackles if we're going to come up with a victory today. Now, today's video is brought to you by, and I'm going to say hashtag not sponsored, but I'm kind of delivering it like it's sponsored. But the playoff mod that I'm using comes from College Football Revamped. John goes for an interception, unable to come down with it. Would have been a big play early on. But this playoff mod that we are using comes to us from College Football Revamped in a tool that they have that you can use. It's totally free to use. You just have to be able to do some things with your PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. And we come up with the stop. We guessed it was a run up the middle. A big time stop. And just like that, our defense comes with a critical play to start. What a play by Lonnie Larson. Now we're to our offense. Since we last played, they've put in a new system where we can run a lot more read options and RPOs. Now, I don't have the playbook optimized for that new gameplay mechanic yet, so probably won't use it as much. We look to establish Mike Finley early as a running threat. Going on the read option, he tucks it inside for a 6-yard gain, and it's now going to be second and manageable. Going to option off their star defensive end. Able to hand it off. Hit Andrew DeAngelis up on the inside seam, running for 13 yards and getting us into the red zone. Andrew DeAngelis already has 30 yards on the game. He is really going to be a key factor here. Let's see if we can continue to get him in space. Now we're going to see if we set up a little bit of play action. Looks like they're in a cover 2, so it's going to be a little harder to establish. Throw on the inside to Lee Muller. Able to get 11 yards on the gain and to make it 1st and goal for the Tigers. This offense has been pretty capable to do whatever it pleases. But now we're going to come back with an outside handoff. We've been probing this inside rather well, so let's see if we can attack this outside. Looks like they're in a cover 2 look, so we should be able to run the ball effectively. Andrew DeAngelis decides to cut it inside, runs over a man for a 5-yard gain to make it 2nd and 1. All this offense needs is to punch it in for the final yard to go up early with a first drive touchdown. But Auburn already establishing themselves as the bigger team here. Let's see if they can punch it in. Motion Roberts to the left, comes back right for the handoff. Mike Finley not able to hand the ball off for some reason. Gets a 1-yard loss. Looks like there was a bit of a miscommunication there. And now it's going to be 3rd and goal at the 2. This could be 4-down territory for the Tigers here. Let's see what they come up with. Going to come out in a spread look for an easy handoff. Looks like they have 7 in the box, and they don't look to be respecting McFarland here. We're going to audible into a quick pass, and we're probably going to hit McFarland. We hit Xavier McFarland, but he's not able to get his feet down. Pass was just a hair strong, and now it's going to be 4th and goal at the 1. Now, we're all the way here on the big stage, and we want to show up early. With it being on the 1-inch line, we're going to go for it. We're going to put body on body and trust our offensive line. We're going to use Andrew DeAngelis to power through. And that he does, and we take the early lead. Opening touchdown. We go up 7-0 halfway into the first quarter. It was a way to establish ourselves and our offensive identity. I want to see if we can force them into a simple play, and they decide to go with the draw. And 92, Anthony Powers comes up with the big-time play in the backfield to make it 4th and 15. Now UCF is left with a decision to make. But they'll make that decision in the second quarter. So, at the end of 1, Auburn is up 7-0. This UCF team has started to pull it together, but this Auburn defense just pulled in on what they needed. Now let's see if Auburn can continue to build a lead, or if UCF can come back. And don't look too hard at the rest of the bowl games, because they're not the playoff games, and the way the system is set up. Oh, Andrew DeAngelis breaking free on the outside. He's running with daylight, stiff arming, with a big gain on the play. Looks like it's going to be about a 40-yard gain for the Tigers. Andrew DeAngelis coming up with a big-time play to start this second quarter. But as I was saying, don't look too hard at the bowl games down at the bottom, and except the playoff games, because how this whole system works is all those will be reset every round of the playoffs we do. So, hand the ball off to Andrew DeAngelis once again. Makes a jump cut, pushes up field behind his blockers for another 7-yard gain on the play. Actually, it looks like Notre Dame pulled the upset and took down Arizona. And they will face the winner of Ohio State, Florida State. We'll have to look to see what they did there, or how that game fully went. But Andrew DeAngelis with 83 yards so far. He is making a big statement on this game and really wants to go to the next round. This drive has been all Andrew DeAngelis, and it's still going to be as he runs in for another touchdown. Auburn goes up by 2 touchdowns midway through the second quarter. This team will not be stopped. This defense is really starting to hum and is on a hot streak. We're going to see a passing play here. Oh, and they're able to complete it. Thought it was an overthrow, but they hit it. Just a prayer throw on that corner route. We almost got there for the sack, but they're able to convert. And now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Auburn 45. They've run the ball 14 times out of their 17 plays, so they definitely think they have a weakness in the running game. Then they hit a deep play, gets behind the defenders for a 45-yard touchdown. We read the play wrong, assuming it was going to be a running play, and just like that, they cut the lead to 7. That also broke the UCF passing touchdowns in a season. Now let's see if we can come up with a big-time return. Alex Harrison's going to return the ball. We like the angle. Cuts it upfield. Has a wide open pasture. He's running to the 50. All the way across the 50. What a big-time return and a swing of momentum. We got a little play action screen here. Looks like they're really setting down to blitz. So McFarland able to shake the defender on the screen, getting a 13-yard gain. And just like that, the Tigers are back in the red zone for the third time today. Mike Finley's been completing 7 out of 8 of his passes. Still not over the 100-yard mark, but he's been fairly accurate. We're gonna hit a deep curl to Rocky Lee, and he's gonna turn, punch it in for another touchdown. And just like that, they go back up 2 scores with 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. UCF is looking to do something, whereas we're gonna apply a lot of pressure. We're gonna send a blitz. We're gonna put Lonnie Larson in coverage. And he does enough. The blitz gets home. And just like that, it's going to be 4th and 17. This Tiger defense is flying to the football. And knowing what our kicker is capable of will be very important later. Kick is up, and it looks like it's going to be very short. Doesn't even break through the back of the end zone. So an empty drive out of the Auburn offense. And we're totally fine if this ends the first half, because we do get ball to start the second half. It was a weird decision by their coaching staff to start out aggressive early. But here we go. This is for the half. Neal able to undercut the route and pick it off. He was in a scary position if he didn't come down with that ball, as he was behind the wide receiver. But that's how the first half is going to end, with Auburn up 21-7 and the ball to start the second half. This game's in a really good position for the Tigers, and they have to close out the game to see who they'll face in the next round. But UCF can mount a comeback. Now, we've only converted 1 out of 3 of our third downs. This UCF team has been able to really lock us in when we shoot ourselves in the foot. Ooh, hit the wrong button there. Complete the ball to Lee Muller, but ended up going backwards. It's now going to be 4th and 7. Been a run-heavy attack today with 23 rushes and 15 passes. We're going to look to see if we can punch the ball in through the air. McFarland able to hold on to the ball on that slant route in coverage. And just like that, Auburn goes up 3 touchdowns late in the third quarter. Now we're going to pull Mike Finley. He's done a great job here and up 3 scores. I'm fairly confident that we're in a good spot. We're going to see Jermaine Johnson for the rest of the game, as we look to just play very conservative and run the clock down as much as we can. And that'll be the game plan from here on out. Harrison on the return game. Looks like he has a little bit of daylight. Able to cut, make some jump cuts, shake a defender. Looks like he's got some room. Running to the 10. Trips up at the 1. 63-yard return. He almost put the exclamation point on this. He was that close to a punt return touchdown. And we hand the ball off to Andrew DeAngelis to finish off that drive. We tie the school record for rushing touchdowns in a season. Andrew DeAngelis has been having a killer end of this year. But that drive was all Alex Harrison. He's been a key part of our game, and he's going to be a very valuable threat in the return game next year. But now, with it being 3rd and 17, let's see if we can come up with a big stop here. Oh, and they run a screen, and we were so ready for it. Sitting on it, waiting for it. It's now going to be 4th and 21. They just have no answer. Now let's see if Alex Harrison can actually get the touchdown now. Oh, we'll have to wait till the start of the 4th quarter. A dominating 3rd quarter by the Tigers put this game away. While it's not impossible, it is very likely that UCF will go down and Auburn will advance to the next round. But let's see if any big changes happen in this 4th quarter. And it's going to take a really strong team to take down this Auburn defense. And really what it's been is just not shooting themselves in the foot. Not making some of those stupid mistakes. Bad interceptions or fumbles to start the game. And you seem like they really learned from that Georgia game. And not counting their opponent out. So that could have been a key loss for them in the season. We see Jermaine Johnson hit the outside, tucking it, running all the way for another touchdown. This team cannot be denied, and I believe they just killed the will of this UCF team. We'll just have Alex Harrison just catch the ball here. No need to try to force the issue. Andrew DeAngelis with 157 yards rushing on the game and accounting for half of our touchdowns. He's definitely going to be the player of the game. But we'll go ahead and come out in victory formation. No need to do anything fancy. We've already proven what we need to prove. And we'll go ahead and take this energy on to the next round, into the Sugar Bowl. We'll head to New Orleans and face the winner of Texas and Alabama. I think that's going to be a fun ride. But there we go. We are Peach Bowl champions. And we prove that we will be a force to be reckoned with. Now, how did the other playoff games go? Who made it to the semifinals? We'll have to find out. But Tim Dunge wins his first bowl game as an Auburn Tiger. We had a number of plays that could have been play of the game. Game chose to highlight our backup quarterback scoring our final touchdown. But we had great crowd level attendance today. Almost kind of felt like a home game. UCF put up a good fight, but we just overwhelmed them with our strategy. We'll send them packing to come back next year and see if they can represent the group of 5 again. Andrew DeAngelis with our player of the game nod. 23 carries for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns. He just helped us pull away early, and this game was never that close. So let's look at the overall stats of this dominating victory. 16 first downs to 6 first downs. 363 total yards to 132. They only had 12 total rushing yards. And if you take off that one blown coverage of that 45-yard touchdown pass, held under 100 yards passing. Our third down conversion, 2 of 6, that's pretty bad. That needs to be fixed. And that's probably our one sore spot of the day. 100% red zone, which is great. No turnovers, key. And look at that. Look at the returns that set up our field position. That just, it made all of our drives so much easier. So all facets of the game had a very dominant day, and that led us to victory. Well, after that victory, we punch our ticket to the next round. Let's see how the other playoff games went. And I would do this kind of like as fast as 3 minutes, show highlights, but that would require me to actually record the entirety of the other games and then cut them up into highlights, and I just don't have that kind of time right now. So, let's see how, I believe it's Notre Dame, Arizona went. Notre Dame won 26-14 over Arizona. That's our first upset of the playoffs. Looks like this game was neck and neck up into the second half where Notre Dame just pulled away. Looks like Notre Dame hit a couple of key passes, including a 43-yard touchdown pass and a 71-yard touchdown pass to pull away. Looking at the overall stats, looks like Notre Dame just had a more successful offense. And Arizona just wasn't able to keep them in check. Everything else looks pretty balanced. Notre Dame even had 13 total penalties. So Notre Dame just hit some key plays and looks like they punched their ticket on to the next round. Now, in the Cotton Bowl, Bama dominates the Big 12 champion Texas, knocking the number 2 seed out of the tournament. Meaning that we will see a Iron Bowl rematch in the Sugar Bowl. Looks like Bama dominated for a large part of the game. Looks like the game got close, and then Bama just poured it on in the third quarter. So, looks like that wasn't a very pretty game towards the end. It's a big upset there as the Horns were kind of favored, but we'll get to have an Iron Bowl rematch, so that will be fun. Then rounding out our end cap, Ohio State versus Florida State. Ohio State just dominated. Florida State tried to pull it to be kind of close, but never got within 2 touchdowns after the first quarter, and Ohio State just poured it on at the end to make it just unreachable. So that means rounding out our bracket, we will see in the semifinals, in the Rose Bowl, we will see Ohio State take on Notre Dame. And we will see Bama take on Auburn in the Sugar Bowl. So that will be fun. So we will see you back then for those games. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe because it helps me out so much more than you know. And I will see you in the next one.